bunch of emails that that were sent to me, and they flooded in with pretty much the same question, which was weird. And the questions basically were, what do I use for marking tools? What do I use for layouts? What do I use for measuring tools? I kind of went back and forth on this video because it's not an exciting topic, and I tried to figure out how I can integrate it in another project, but I've just gotten a lot of emails. It's weird. A lot of emails about what do I use for marking tools. So I figured I'd just shoot this video for the hell of it. But anyway, what I use in determining for layout tools and marking tools and measuring, I use the typical stuff: measuring tapes, rulers, squares, combination squares. And I'm a big proponent on making templates out of paper, wood, cardboard, foam, anything that's relatively cheap, and then I can make my transfer lines from that template to the piece of wood that I'm cutting, just to save money in case I make any mistakes, because we all make mistakes. So yeah, I'll quickly go through with you what I use and my process, and yeah. So whenever I do a project, I always start off with a design, a template. I won't have all the information that I need for a project before I start one, but I'll have an idea of what I want to do and what direction I'm going in. And it saves a lot of time. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it when you're doing it, and you can apply that that method to anything. Let's go. I'll show you some of my steps. Here we go. Giddy up. Alright, so one of the tools that I use in terms of software is I use Turbocad Deluxe version 10, and this basically allows me to design something. If I'm doing something that's kind of complicated, that requires precision, and it's going to be a multi-lengthy process, I'll use CAD. And let me just show you a few projects that I've done in the past. This one is well, this is my Cnc Gantry that I'm working on. I was able to design it in CAD, and it allows me to get specific information that I need in terms of clearance issues, overall overall look, bolt placement, and I can basically go into here and let's see here. Let me just do a rendering for you and get a quality rendering, and I can see what the end result will be. This is a center island that I designed and built, and I designed it in CAD. This is a very useful software package. Unfortunately, there is a huge learning curve. I mean, you do have to spend time to study and learn how to use CAD, but once you learn how to use it, it's a very powerful tool. So, and also I just wanted to mention that if you Google what is it called? Google Sketch. It's a very limited version of CAD, and it's very user-friendly. So if you Google SketchUp, I think it is, you can download it for free, and you can design on the fly with that, and it'll give you renderings, and you can walk through it and check things out. It's really cool. So, all right. So this is my Bible, I call it. It's just a bunch of paper, and boring, I know, but some tracing paper that I use to come up with some ideas. It doesn't have to be artistically perfect, just to give you a rough idea with some dimensions. Some templates. I'm a huge fan of templates. Like I said, it's a lot cheaper to throw away a piece of paper than it is to throw away some exotic wood that you're working on. And some graph paper is a must if you're drawing. And again, just like detail work like that, just with basic dimensions to give you an idea of doing stuff. Could be, any project that you're working on. So, here's a fireplace mantel that I built a few years back. Came out really nice. And this is actually the fireplace that's in my house. Built it all out of oak. And this is pretty much what I went off of. This is the idea that I had for it, and it pretty much stayed the same. So yeah, especially I was building this fireplace mantel around an existing fireplace insert, so you definitely had to be right on with some of the measurements. And oh, here's that mantel that I built. There it is right there. It pretty much stayed the same in terms of what I drew out on paper, and actually built. But yeah. Alright, so we're in my work area. Just quickly go over this boring stuff. It's I have a few things laid out that I use on any given project. Your basic stuff right there. Your aluminum squares that I use. I like those because you can set them down and get square. I have a bunch of those because I have a tendency of, you'll find that I have a lot, like 10 of everything, because I have a tendency of putting stuff down and never to be found again. I think it's hooking up with that one sock that you can never find. Okay, so yeah, I have a bunch of squares. I have a lot of these guys, little combo squares, and some of the more normal size squares that I have. And this is really nice. It's got like a little compass on it, angle finder, square. That's nice. Your typical tape measures that I use. I have these brass gauges that I use, and your average rules. I have a lot of these. These are kind of hard to see because of the reflection of the light, but they tend to work out okay. And some smaller ones. I got some plastic ones, and a nice big plastic true angle. It's got a little hinge back there, and you can get your angle if you're working on something large and lock it in. And these guys are nice if you're working on something that has an angle, and to take the guesswork out, just find your angle, lock it in, and transfer your lines to your piece that you're working on. There's another one over here. And these are preset angle squares. Nice little rosewood hand. Another one there. And of course some mocking tools. I have some Scribes that I use quite a bit. And over here I have a nice set of precision squares. I mainly use these for setting up my tools because they're so precise. My bandsaw, let's say, make sure the blade's square to the table surface. Comes in a nice little box. Comes with a little dial caliper. And speaking of calipers, I have some over here that I use. I have a digital and a dial. The digital I use a lot more than a dial because the digital you can make your conversions on the fly. That is until your battery dies. And I have this big ass guy right here, this big caliper that I use. But yeah, this is some of the stuff that I use. Boring, but you guys wanted to know. So, also templates. I was talking about templates. And templates is right up there with the stuff that I use right here because it takes the guesswork out. You spend a lot of time setting up a template and you only have to do it once. This is a template of an Explorer made out of hardboard. It's another template. And here's another template of a different Explorer that I did. So yeah, templates are a must if you're, especially, I mean, even if you're just making one item, a template goes a long way because you can spend a lot of time on the template, get it just right. It's cheap wood. And then you can transfer those lines to your nice piece of exotic wood. And takes the guesswork out. So templates, I'm a big proponent of templates. But yeah, this is some of my crap. I know it's boring, but I've gotten a lot of emails on it, so. And there's some other crap in here that I use. We all know what that is. I use that. And a pair of Scribes right there I use. And these are nice. These are angles that you can draw on and trace on your template or paper that you can get some nice little neat curves. I got a bunch of those guys. But yeah, again, it's boring, but I've gotten a lot of emails on it, so I figured I'd just shoot a quick video on it. See ya! Giddy out.